Yes, good evening, Nigerians, wherever you'll be watching from this evening. This is EIE Enough is Enough. And today we're going to be discussing a very important topic, which is why should the citizen accept INEC results? Why should the citizen accept INEC result? If you have been following this channel, you can recall that on my own opinion, I have said it long ago that I don't trust our electoral system. The impunity in our government has affected the independent body, which is not supposed to be so. Today, I was supposed to be having three guests in the studio, and we are still trying to figure out the technical difficulties from our guest speaker for today. I was supposed to be having Mr. Magnus Oraka, who just confided with me now that he lost the mother-in-law. Accept my deep condolence, sir, for the passing away of your mother-in-law today. Please, viewers, if you're seeing this video, please, the topic of today is why would the citizens accept the INEC results? Because down along the line in February 25th, we can still recall all that happens. So I think I could see one of our guests is on the line. Let me see if we can be able to welcome in our guest if possible. Hello, sir. I'm good. I cannot hear you.
How are you? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you very well, sir.
Oh,
I
good
can.
to have you.
Uh, good,
Good to see you.
good to have you here on the studio. Welcome to EIE Enough is Enough. And please, viewers, if you're just joining, this is Mr. Ademola Oguden. If I don't
Ogundano,
pronounce Ogudan, if I don't pronounce your last name well, sir, please forgive me.
no problem.
He's a society activist who is very passionate about the electoral reform. And this today, I also have another guest who will be expecting any moment from now. And the line to call in this program is open for Nigerians to call in. The phone number to call in through the WhatsApp is +1 289 31 2437. I repeat, you can call in +1 289 231 2437. On that note, you will be hearing your own contribution towards the topic of today. Why should the citizens accept the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC results that was announced 3 days after the election on the 25th of February 2023. Sir, I want you to throw a little light on your own opinion, because as the situation is now, every Nigerian has their own opinion. And as at this, we won't want to disregard any opinions from any Nigerians, because it was crystal clear about the whole situation, the incident that happened, how people were being violated from their civil rights, how people were disenfranchised from not participating in the presidential election that just ended in February. On your own aspect, sir, do you think it is because right now the Labour Party, the PDP are not pleased, and the citizens also are not well agreed with INEC? giving or calling the results of the ended presidential election. What is your take on that, this particular topic, sir?
Mr. Donald.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to be with you this night. You see, and I will take my own from historical perspective. Elections all over the world cannot be perfect. In every electoral law, from America to Britain, from Britain to other countries, there is what is known as substantial compliance. Substantial compliance in this sense clearly shows that in any election, there is bound to be flaw. Nigeria, as a behemoth, a very large country, over 200 citizens, it is not possible for us to have a perfect election. If we look at it, if we look at our recent history, let's take it from 1960 through 1979, even the ones that were midwifed by the military, none can be seen to be totally free and fair. But the question now is, the anomalies and the undoings in the election, is it enough? Is it substantial enough for the elections to be annulled? No. In this case, if we look at the 25th presidential election, the National Assembly, one of the best elections ever in this country, the normal intimidations that is always palpable. Look at what happened in 2007 when Chief Olusegun Obasanjo midwifed the election. It was even the owner, even the beneficiary, late Umaru Yar'Adua, said, the election that brought me is flawed. I will involve the National Assembly, and we are going to correct the anomalies that brought me in. The election of 25th February happens to be the best. If you compare, look at the pattern. The three gladiators, Tinubu, Atiku, Obi. If you look at areas, even before the election, if you are conversant with Nigerian history, you will know that it is not possible for Peter Obi to penetrate. It's a movement to penetrate the northern area, the northern states, the northeast, the northwest, and the south. We are all aware that in the east, because of the sentiments, which is natural anyway, Obi will pull the total, most of the votes, about 90%, will happen. South. In the southwest, look at what happened in Lagos. Tinubu lost. If you just look at the pattern, if you look at the pattern of the votes, we don't need any suits here to say that this election was free and fair. But you see, we must be cognizant too of the agitations of the movement. Obi is a movement. You see, obedience is a movement that will germinate. There's an average Nigerian, even those in APC, those in PDP, we are aware. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. The youths on which the future of the country, that are looking forward, strongly know that, we know, sorry. So, Mr. Donald, sorry.
I'm here.
So, if we look at it, we know Obi is a movement that will germinate and it will still come to be. But now, if we look at the election, Mr. Donald, the election was free and fair. I see no reasons why INEC should annul it.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ademola. I so much appreciate you. There's one thing you said a thought force, because at the beginning of this whole campaign of this presidential election, They never saw the Labour Party as a force. They said they have no structure,
Yeah.
they have nothing.
Yeah.
This is my take. This is my take. As we all know, INEC is a body in charge with that is responsible of conducting free, fair, and credible election in Nigeria. This commission is set up with experienced professionals who work tirelessly to ensure that elections are conducted. That was why that budget that was made for our election was given to INEC for them to prepare. Therefore, the citizens accept INEC. My take is the citizen accepting this result from INEC, despite all the electoral fraud, electoral bullying, even the president, because why I'm saying this is because the manner and the way this result came about, the reflection of this result, is something that has to be questioned. It's something that needs to be questioned.
How,
Yes, because during this whole incident, during this whole election period, the collation time, it is important for the citizens to accept the results that INEC announced. Why I said this is because these citizens are the people that participated in this election. And far across the southwest, the southeast, the north, south, and some other areas in the north, you can attest that they are all obedient. So my own take is this, that like, how come? Where is this result? Because the whole process which INEC promised us that they're going to conduct this election through, they failed on that aspect. And we were expecting, okay, if you say this result you are announcing are valid, where did you get this result from? We know they have every state has their collation officer, but
all the parties, Mr.
yeah,
Donald, all the parties, all the major political parties, even the minor political parties, they have their agents in the polling booth. What are we saying? Now, if we are saying the election was flawed, is it in Imo State? Is it in Lagos State? Is it in Oyo State? Is it in Kano State? Is it in Borno State? Let the INEC or let people that are complaining that the election is not free, let them identify the states.
yes.
For example, look at Abia State, for example. APC polled 4,772. Are you telling me that the election from Abia State or the votes that were given to APC is what they deserve? If we go to Anambra State, you see, Mr. Donald, there are pockets of malfeasances here and there. But the point is, are all these enough for election to be annulled? I mean, you see, let us get something right. I said at the beginning of this discussion, there hasn't been any election all over the world. Look at what happened between President Nixon and Kennedy in America in 1960. I mean, we strongly believe that America is more civilized, I mean, democratically. Look at the election between the current president and Donald Trump. You see, what we are saying is that we can't, if we are looking for a perfect election, then we are not ready to move forward. We cannot get a perfect election anywhere. But the point now is that we should ask ourselves, you can imagine what the INEC have put into it. You can imagine the expectation of the citizenry. So if we look at it holistically, you know that INEC, they have not performed below expectation. You see, but it's only normal for people that are aggrieved. The losers must, you see, they are aggrieved in a contest. Somebody must emerge as the winner. African mentality, even all over the world, especially democracy, it is very rare. Look at what is happening in Kenya. Look at what happened between the current president and all the contestants.
Yeah.
You understand? So what we are saying here is that is the malfeasances that the opposition are alleging, are they enough for the election to be annulled? That's number
Yeah.
one. Then number two, look at all the impediments. Look at all the impediments. Previous elections in this country had been bedeviled with money, buying of votes, intimidations. If you look at the election that just took place, Mr. Donald, you realize that for most people that even wanted to participate, they were living in neighboring towns. They couldn't even get transportation to go to their respective polling booths or towns where they register.
Sir. Just a quick one before I forget, because as we're talking now, the next guest that was supposed to join us on this program is listening to your conversation live on WhatsApp, and he's going to air his own opinion on today's topic. And just quickly before we move forward, you're talking about democracy. Is this how democracy is practiced in these countries you've mentioned? When you mention America, the American system of election, we cannot compare it with our own system. Even the same system here, they practice in Canada, in other Europe countries, whereby even where you are going to cast your vote, you don't even need a policeman to be there, because everybody are honest. Everybody knows that the election has grown to a stage whereby there is no electoral violence, there is no electoral. Do you know the bullying people got on that day? There was a video.
But Capitol was invaded. Capitol was invaded, consequent on the election between Biden and Donald Trump.
I'm coming to that aspect. I just quickly want to say something regarding how people were disenfranchised from exercising their right, getting to their place of registration. They were asked not to cast their vote if they don't vote for a particular political party. And this particular political party we're talking about are still the same political party the Independent National Electoral Commission awarded as the winner. This is my take. There are a lot of evidence, because I am making this video today and I want people to understand the basis of what democracy is all about. Democracy, because along the line, I'm glad that the candidate of the Labour Party is as calm as anything, and I'm glad that his calmness, his silenceness has brought fear into the system now, because I see no reason whereby a political party candidate will be meeting with the Independent National Electoral Commission a night before the election. Independent national
speculation. Yes. Mr. Donald. Yeah. Speculations.
It's not speculation. If someone as prominent, someone as eloquent, someone as educated and as grown of age, when we talk about Nigeria independence, when we talk about Nigeria being where they are today, Bode George has been someone that has participated in Nigerian system. If someone has himself with such pedigree could come out and said he found the INEC chairman going
excuse me, Donald. I don't want us to feed the public with wrong information. I stay in Lagos. Bode George denied it vehemently the following day. Now remember, if Bode George had even alleged, Bode George had been a permanent antagonist of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You see, you don't expect your enemy to say, because if you don't expect your enemy to say good about you, it is not possible for Professor Mahmood, a professor of history, to travel from Abuja on the eve of election. I mean, let us look at it. You see, there are some rumors, there are some information
They said he flew.
listen
He
to that.
flew the
Listen to
private
that.
jet.
It's not possible. It's not possible. Look at the schedule. How can you be the chairman of INEC and you have less than 8 hours to a national election? You understand? All eyes are on you, and you left Abuja to come and do what? It is not possible.
Okay.
You see, I don't want us to rely. Excuse me, Mr. Donald. I don't want us to rely on social media information. You see, there are miscreants. There are so many misinformation that is going on, and you see, I'm participating in this because I know you are an intellectual, and I want us to reason intellectually. You see, you spoke about saying, "Is this how we are going to practice democracy?" Democracy will grow. Are we not better off? Can you compare this with what happened in 2007? Even the beneficiary, the beneficiary, late Umaru Yar'Adua, acknowledge the malfeasance. The election was presided by Obasanjo. So, Mr. Donald, all those, INEC wouldn't, Professor wouldn't have left. He's based in Abuja to come and do what? In this jet age, anything that will have even happened, must he even come to Lagos for anything to be done?
We will come back to that.
Okay.
We'll come back to you to hear more opinion from you. But right now, our guest that is on the line, I want him to hear his own opinion on these all issues, on this topic we are discussing about, because this is a very crucial topic. To me, I believe that election should be re-evaluated. There are procedures. There are laws that govern the Independent National Electoral Commission. And when these laws are violated, there are needs to reassess that election and be able.
Let me quick one. If Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, that had sway in Lagos for 23 years, would lose election in his unit, in his polling booth, is that not enough? Okay, what will it have taken Asiwaju to rig election in his own domain? Let us be frank. Let us be fair to ourselves. Okay,
Can we give our guests another opportunity to talk on this issue before we come back to you, sir?
He's welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Reverend Ukechukwu Christopher. The phone is on speaker, and our guests on the studio can hear you. Please kindly hear your own opinion on this particular topic we're talking about, which is why should the citizens accept INEC results?
Well, good evening, everyone listening, and good evening, Donald. I don't know whether I'm being heard.
Yes, you are being heard.
You are being heard.
I've been struggling to connect, and I've been very busy today on a journey. I just came in now, and if I'm being heard, well, I just don't know. I didn't listen a little bit of what the last speaker is saying. What would have just felt like being calm and quiet and watch this riddle, how it will be solved, or watch these issues to how it will pan out. Because all that, I wonder why. If you Google my name, and you will see a particular place because we've been involved in all this. On the 13th of October, 2019, I granted interview to the Guardian newspapers, and it covered 5 pages, 13th October 2019. You can go up there and say, but one of the major topic there, or the title there, or issue that I mentioned, which everybody is saying now, that I'm like the Nostradamus of our political space. I told people who wanted to hear that in 2023 presidential election will be a litmus test for the continued unity of Nigeria in diversity. And we kept working and advocating and talking. And this thing has panned out now the way it is. My friend, I just heard a little bit about him. I don't know why. That's why I said Some of us would like to be calm and quiet and watch these events unfold. Because I wouldn't even imagine that somebody will be arguing, telling you that our democracy is progressing. A human being, I don't know how to use a word, and it will sound very negative, but I don't mean to hurt anybody. But people who are saying this, we had results in the past by INEC, and we saw the reactions of people. We saw the kind of jubilation, even that of Yaradua he was talking about. We saw. And we saw what is happening today in Nigeria, that Nigeria looks like a graveyard after this result, apart from a few people like this individual who just finished talking. And hear him telling you, how can you begin to imagine that Professor Mahmoud, 8 hours to the election, will fly down to whatever. He doesn't want us to believe that or anything. But he wants us to believe that what we're seeing with Mahmoud, a professor, a supposedly professor, I'll use that word. It's not whatever, because for what has happened at the last 2 weeks election, I wonder, for those who may say he's a professor, and all those who getting engaged and modeling up our electoral process. A professor will go to Chatham House, will go all the places that assure us with his friend and follower, Festus Okoye, assuring everybody with all the past records that can be on the video everywhere going viral, telling you things will be done, will be transmitted, and in your open eyes, in the naked eyes, you saw agents, numerous agents saying that we could afford to transmit the House of Reps and Senatorial, and that of presidential cannot. And up to today, INEC said that there were hitches after he has not been able to explain to us today what the hitches were. And it's hurrying up. And my friend who just finished talking up, saying something, we want us to believe, to listen to him, because I won't want to listen. Immediately I finish talking, sir, I won't want to listen to this guy, whoever, no matter how highly placed he might be, telling us, I've been in the political space for the past 40 years now. At the time I was the national vice chairman of AD, when we had 3 parties in the country for Southeast Zone, having meetings with the 6 governors of the AD, including Tinubu in Lagos, and so on. And I can tell you the story because I was a member of Nadeco, and we're pursued about, locked up with Atawankwo, and so on. And Tinubu, who is supposedly supposed to be somebody from there, we knew what happened with Fisher Williams. And he came, the AD considered his efforts, and now he's destroying the democratic whatever ideals, the anger that every of the Nigerians had in 1993. We can't even imagine whether it's Tinubu or something happened along the line, and he's behaving the way he's behaving.
Hello. Can I? Excuse me. Can I? I don't want. I don't want this thing to be too personal. Mr. Reverend Okechukwu.
Hello, Reverend.
Reverend.
He's trying to want to communicate some, because I want this to be an interactive section. Irrespective of our opinion, I want us to understand that, like, at the end of this, we are still waiting for callers to call in, because we will still also want to get callers to call in. Let's hear the opinion of the people, because that is what democracy is all about. Democracy is for the people, is by the people and for the people. And if all these things, these components are taken away, then there is no democracy. If INEC is saying
they are taking away, they are taking away because of the the character inherent in Tinubu.
Reverend Okechukwu. It is obvious that you are. Hello.
Okay.
Reverend. Listen, Reverend.
Reverend, Reverend, please, 1 minute. Let's hear Mr. Let's hear.
With this kind of, they are no longer. But let me tell you something, sir. Before we continue, just in a nutshell, P2B by 29th, if we keep on arguing until you go mark it somewhere, like I said 4 years ago, if P2B, if Tinubu is sworn in 29th of May, he'll be very illegitimate. If Tinubu is sworn in, if the go and mark it, that's where it's going to go chronologically. If P2B, if it goes through the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, and they declare, they continue, they sustain the sham that INEC has just said. Let me tell you, these guys are, they will now find out that the enemies of the country, of the unity of Nigeria that we have.
Reverend Okechukwu, can you please listen? Listen.
Let them know it.
Reverend, you are championing ethnic, excuse me, if Obi had won, Reverend, if Obi had won, if Obi had won,
if don't want an Igbo man,
if Obi had won, will you have been saying this? If Obi had won, will you have been saying this? You
shut up there, shut up.
Keep quiet, Reverend. If Obi had won, you are an ethnic bigot. You are a bigot. Tinubu won that election free, fair, and clear.
I'm so happy.
If Okechukwu, you are being sentimental, and these are not the type of people I want to discuss with. But if you really want it, I'm ready for you. You are an ethnic bigot. It's obvious. Look at what you are saying. If Obi came distant third, Obi came third.
Please,
Obi is planning to jump. Even Atiku is. I don't understand why people.
Mr. Reverend, please, Reverend and Mr. Ademola, please. I want us to bring because at the end of this meeting, I want us to be able to, because if we cannot complete this section today, we will hook up this program next week.
I'm ready for the type of Reverend. Reverend Okechukwu is being sentimental. Mr. Donor, Mr. Moderator,
this same, sir, please, just 1 minute. This same issue is the same tribal bigot they are trying to want to influence into the youth.
That is what you're
I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. If we all know too well, sir, you are from the southwest. And Mr. Reverend Okechukwu is from the southeast. Myself, I'm from the south. I'm from the south. So you see, this whole situation we're talking about, I will try as much as possible to get someone from the north to be in our next meeting.
Exactly.
Because right from time, I told Nigerians, I said, election. Mr. Okechukwu is my very.
Reverend Okechukwu is bitter.
No, it's not been.
He has refused to profit from the lesson of history.
Let's hear one another, please. Let's hear one another so that we can.
This is one of the best elections ever. Let Obi go to court.
No. I will disagree with that. I will disagree to that.
In my own opinion, that's my own opinion. I'm not saying,
okay,
Mr. Donald, I'm not saying to accept my opinion.
Okay, sir.
And I'm not telling Reverend to accept my own opinion. But he said he had been in politics for 40 years. I've been in politics for more than 40 years. I was born into a political family. And when in the political history of Nigeria,
can we calm down? Can we calm down and let us do this? Take questions from each other one after the other, because the way this country is going. Please, Reverend Okechukwu, can you please give me 1 minute, please, and Mr. Ademola 1 minute, please, because the way this country is going, the perpetrators of this country, which me right from time I have known, which is the Kaaba, the Fulani Caliphate, they want to put the Southerners, they want to smash our heads together, and they are heading towards it. And when it goes to that direction, trust me, Nigeria will snap. And when Nigeria snaps, and that is where it is going, because the people never trusted the electoral system. That is where all this agitation came about. The Oduduwa, and I'm so shocked now that the Southwest are not talking about Oduduwa agitation anymore. I'm so shocked that no agitation is coming up now, apart from the threats, the Fulani, the herdsmen, the Fulani herdsmen or the Boko Haram gave out, I think 2 days ago. They are threatening. We know the strategy. We know how it is. Men were the men that surrendered arms in the Boko Haram and the bandits. They were recruited into the Nigeria army. A lot of things has gone down the line, which I believe too well, that if justice did not surface, now that the people have woken up, Nigeria will snap. That I know for sure. If the people, the electorate that came out, the people came out and exercised their franchise, and the same people are still coming out now and say, who we voted for is not the same person.
Nobody is saying that.
As a winner.
Donna, you are getting the whole thing. Mr. Donna, Mr. Moderator, you are getting the whole thing wrong. You are saying people that voted. People that voted for Asiwaju, are they saying that the election is not? You see, look at it. Look at the pattern. Okay. Are you there? Look at the pattern of the results. Look at the pattern of the results.
Yeah.
That reverend that is so bitter and biased, is he telling me that the election was rigged in Imo State or in all areas where Peter Obi won? Ask him. I'm putting the question direct to him. Was the election free and fair where Peter Obi won? Obi came less than a year to the system. I'm even surprised that he got what he got. That is why I respect him, and that's why I believe that he's a fisher, he's an hero, and that he will still do well in this country, but not now. If we thought that without structure, he wouldn't have been able to pull what he pulled. For him to have even gotten that million is enough for people like Okechukwu to go to sit down and prepare for future. Asiwaju won this. You see, look at it. If Asiwaju had lost election in his base, what are we saying? Did he rig himself out of Lagos?
Reverend,
he rigged himself out
Mr.
of
Reverend, Mr. Reverend, okay, this meeting, we are going to adjourn this meeting on this same topic. And
for tell Reverend to calm down. Reverend should behave like a
Reverend.
A reverend gentleman. He is a by God.
Mr. Reverend Okechukwu.
Okay.
Mr. Reverend Okechukwu, sir,
Okechukwu, you are a by God. You are a reverend and you are talking of killing. I don't understand. You see, you are a bad, you are the greatest one. Reverend, you are a reverend, you are not a gentleman. We are talking intellectually before you came. Let's use you are a bad God. You are a deputy AD. Deputy AD, my foot knee.
And you see, Mr. Reverend, thank you so much.
Shame on you. You can ask yourself, Ademola, you're not even existing. You're a living corpse. All of you that have put Nigeria into this penury. You are all of you.
Things will be better, Reverend. Reverend, this will be better.
You ashamed you. The obedience have messed you up.
Compare Lagos and Anambra. Compare the both candidates. Compare Tinubu and Obi. They both serve as 8 years governor in your state. What do you have to show for it in Imo State, in Anambra State? Nothing. Erosion. You have erosion to show for it. Come to
yeah, viewers, you all can see the way this whole thing is going. I have to.
And your children, I wish what you have done, it will happen to you and your children and generations unborn.
Reverend,
you should take it as a good loser.
Please,
you should be a good loser. You should be a good loser, Reverend. What are you teaching your people in the churches? What are you telling them on your street?
Mr. Demola, please, let's accept some decorum here, and so that we can.
He's the one. He started it. I've been civil. He started insulting Mahmoud. He started, you see, I thought we are here for an intellectual discussion.
And they will not be in this Nigeria. We'll send them to exile.
Can you listen to it?
You know, they are all shaking. The people had 151,000 in Lagos, and Obi had 908. It's not Obi as a person. It is the
Who told you that? Are you the resident electoral commissioner in Lagos? Yeah, those are the results you have written. Those are the results you have written that you will have hacked. You wanted to hack the cyber. Your plan was to hack it.
Shame on you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reverend. And please, Reverend, I will want this meeting for us to have this meeting again because
let me finish him up. We suffered. I was in Nadeka. I was in prison for how many years? We people came in and ran away. And then we are getting Nigeria back, and you people are messing us up.
You are getting Nigeria back. For the past 40 years, where were you in the last 40 years that you have been there? Even where your state, where you were sitting with state governor, where were you able to bring from Anambra? What happened in Anambra State? When Obi was there for 8 years, where were the companies?
Shame.
Shame on you.
Mr.
To your bed, not even whatever.
Mr.
Living cost, all of you.
Mr. Ademola and Reverend Okechukwu, please, you people should give me 1 minute. Please, viewers, if you're Reverend Okechukwu, please, 1 minute, please. Viewers, if you are watching this program, wherever you'll be watching from, please, you can call in this program and give your own contribution on this program. The phone number to call on WhatsApp is +1 289 231 2437. The line is open for callers to call in because I want this to be a discussion. This is
an interactive. For the way Reverend is going about it.
Sir, please, 1 minute. This is the ordinary citizens channel where you can call in and tell us what you think. If that election was free and fair, was it conducted free and fair? Was the electoral process was it being as INEC promised it to be? The security measures that Mr. President promised us, was it the same thing that they promised that we got? Because there is a lot of questions that need to be asked in this whole concluded election. Because to me, I'm not satisfied with the level of how INEC conducted that election. Why will I say that? Is because there are, by now, the results shouldn't have been announced in the favor of APC, because we saw a situation whereby thugs went to a polling unit and said, categorically, mention the political party's name. That alone is to expunge.
Mr. Donald, all the eastern states, I can tell you for free that what you are saying, what
will you say, sir, Mr. Demola, what will you say to the alleged voice message from Jason Wike telling the collation officer that if you don't do what I ask you to do in Rivers State, you are not going to leave this state alive?
It was a doctored voice.
No. Sir,
this social media can be meander to suit any purpose. Forget about all these things. Let them go to court. Maybe they are on their way to court.
That is where I'm holding my take, because I'm a patriotic citizen of Nigeria. If I'm not mistaken,
so Mr. Donald, wicked conversation is enough to annul the election. Is that what you are saying?
Yes. What happened in the Rivers State? What happened if we take Rivers State out of the equation?
Imo, what happened in Imo?
Yes, the same thing. Yeah, listen, sir. There are some areas where we get all this evidence that violated the Electoral Act. We are talking about the Electoral Act. You don't talk about the electoral. Is it that INEC does not have a law that governs INEC regarding election, conducting election in Nigeria? Because that law is what kept our democracy. That law is what gave every citizens of Nigeria the opportunity to see themselves as a patriotic citizen of the country, to exercise their right in electing. Because at the beginning of all this process, we all could, because like you said now, I heard you when you said it was not the time of Obi. Is there any time for any particular region or any particular place or any particular tribe to rule over the country of Nigeria? Because
Don't misunderstand me. Don't misunderstand me. In all these things, you will discover that Obi did not win any state in the north. There's nobody that doesn't know the historical makeup of Nigeria. The voters in the north, they are not as, how do I put it? They are not as enlightened as the voters in the east and the west. Obi movement permeated the east and the western Nigeria as a result of the characters. It is impossible in the north. You know what is happening in the north. Okay, was it in the north that the election was made? Was it in the west or in the? Let us identify area where the elections.
Mr. Demola, regarding you saying Obi did not win any state in the north, please, Mr. Reverend Ukechukwu, can you please throw more light on that aspect, because we need clarification. Exactly. Whatever we are saying, is it true that Peter Obi did not win any state in the north?
I'm telling you, with the results, with the manipulations, with all the struggle, whatever they did in the FCT Abuja, if we are going by the law, by the constitution, not even by a law of INEC, you must have 35% in FCT. Obi has 60%. Tinubu has 19%. These were areas where volume results were being uploaded before they cut off that in the night by 8 o'clock. It happened in my ward, in my unit. So by 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, they close up the IRF or whatever, their network or something from transmitting. But then it was online. Why are you not telling me? I'm telling you, you will see it in
that will be resolved in the court of law. We are not supposed to kill ourselves for that one. I've told you at the beginning, Reverend, if you listen to me at the beginning of this discussion, I said, yes. I said substantial compliance all over the world. I use an example of America between Kennedy and Nixon. And I use that of 1979 Nigeria.
Reverend, let's hear him out, please, Reverend. Let's hear him out.
I want you to profit from all these things. I want to get from you. I'm not angry with you. I'm not fighting you. If Obi had won, you won't be like this. And you're a politician. My question now is that Obi did not win any of the states in the northern region.
Okay, sir. To really make you speak on some certain issue regarding the complaints that came from the youth corpers that were supposed to be working at the polling unit officers, that said the server was turned off, that there was no way for them. Even some of them said, to the extent that the people that voted waited for their result to be uploaded, that some of them, they were even risking their life because the old system that were supposed to be used to upload the beavers, results was shut down. That what they did, they had to upload the result offline. And most of all these results they upload offline. It is now, that is why what's it called? The tribunal has given INEC a mandatory time for them to provide all the materials, because that all those results that was uploaded offline, they did not include those results.
Where were the agents of the parties? Mr. Dona, can you ask Okechukwu, Reverend, where were the agents of Labour Party? Where were the agents of PDP? Where were, you see, this
PDP also came out and said, if the PDP that knows that the old people or the citizens of Nigeria are very well conscious of who they cast their vote for, and they are saying the PDP are even saying the election was free and fair. Yeah, the PDP are also agitating. They are saying that this election
will not come first. Excuse me, between Atiku and Obi, because I know they are in cahoots now. Who is now coming to be president-elect? I don't understand though. Can two people be number one at the same time? These guys are confused.
But the result,
I understand the obedient movement. I understand them very well. I really understand their sentiment. But it's why I said is that Obi had brought another, how do I put it? Has brought another meaning to our political struggle. He has really tried. He has done well. If within a very short time he can garner such votes, I give it to him. I give it to him. But it's not enough. Is that enough for him to be deceiving himself that he won the election? How? How did he win in Borno? Did he win in Kano? Did they win in all these things in Sokoto? These are big votes now, for goodness sake. How do you do that? How do you reconcile that? Most of these states, Asiwaju came second. Strong votes. In Lagos, he came second. In Osun, he came second. In Oyo, he came second. In Ekiti, he came first. Look at all these things. Let's look at all this.
Okay.
Look at holistic.
Okay, sir. Let's forget.
Can you win in a section? If Obi relied on the eastern vote, southern vote to become president of Behemoth Nigeria, it's not possible. Let's be realistic.
Should I give you some key reasons why Nigerians choose to need a new Nigerian? Because I'm part of those that are soliciting for a new Nigerian, and I believe that the president selected, because the result has not yet been announced, the true result. We want this because this is the proper process that I think it is happening now. Because
if you want me to continue, if you want me, excuse me, Donald, I want you to be objective. I don't want you. If you are taking side,
I'm not taking side. I'm being political. I'm being political.
No, you invited me here. You invited me here to come and hear my opinion.
No.
Listen.
I'm trying to be political.
There's nobody that doesn't want new Nigeria.
No, sir.
New Nigeria can come. Are you telling me? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Look at Okechukwu. Sorry, Donna.
Yes, sir.
Look. Let us look at the antecedent of both of them.
Okay.
Both of them were governors in their respective states for 8 years.
Thank you for bringing up this issue.
Look at Lagos State.
Yes, sir.
Lagos State is so developed. They are growing. Lagos State is so developed.
In what time? Because I know too well. I know too well. Lagos. Okay.
When compare, I'm in comparison.
Okay.
In comparison to Anambra State.
Okay.
In comparison to Anambra State, you cannot compare them. They were both governors. There are things that you can point to here that Tinubu had done, even if it is only the successors. Identifying people that can do it is even enough. Anambra, Obi, Governor Obi, or Excellency Obi, and Obiano, the successor that he took from back, could not even respect his view. Obiano did not spend a time, did not even spend a time before they were at loggerheads. Before they were at loggerheads.
Sir, just a quick one on that aspect of the selected president, the selected candidate. Ahmed Bola Tinubu was a governor of Lagos State, and to me, it wasn't the architect of the development of Lagos State. Ahmed Bola Tinubu left Lagos State as a governor and took the treasure of the state as a self-income. He took it as his pension. He took it as his gratuity. He took the resources that were supposed to be meant for the citizens to his personal own business as his own retirement. Let's look at the Lekki toll gate. I know he's the one responsible for Lekki toll gate. Lekki toll gate is a toll gate where generates resources. Is it the seaport we're talking about? There are a lot that are tied to Ahmed Bola Tinubu, That is why the people of Lagos State now are looking forward for that change, because the treasure and revenue that comes from Lagos State, I think, is higher than every other revenue of Nigeria. You cannot use the revenue that comes from Lagos State to compare Anambra. Obi is the only governor that left position without receiving governor pension or gratuity till tomorrow. I think we lost Mr. Ademola here, and Mr. He's the network. I think he's having a network problem. This whole situation, sir, this whole conversation, I want us to be able to. We have spent about an hour here, and we're going front and back, and the citizens were not able to call in because we tried to not want to create a decorum for them to be able to get in. Mr. Reverend, Mr. Reverend Okechukwu, please, is there any possible way we can accord this same program? I want us to be more organized with Mr. Ademola. We need to educate the citizens, including Mr. Ademola, needs to be educated, because the reason why some people are still on the same way they are now is because they've not seen or actually understand the new Nigeria that is about to emerge. We need to initiate them into it.
I've seen that, and they see the whole ingredients. But the only thing that's why you see the whole country, looking and sounding and being looked at like a graveyard, because what has happened is a serious, whatever that has ever happened before in the history. So they are concluding, because like they thought it was going to be like before in the manual, and I kept saying that God put the National Assembly members in slumber, and they were able to pass the electoral act, right? Wrote the electoral, even when they got and omitted their names from being delegates. They didn't know. God closed their eyes. They passed it. And the electronic transmission, they didn't know when they did it. It was God, because God felt that the cry, the suffering of Nigerians is more than enough. And the prayers of Nigerians, whether Muslim or Christian, have reached into God. So this is the only time, 2023. And it's not going to be like it used to be, like go to court. The courts are being waited for now. Any day, as soon as the court says something otherwise, contrary to the public, you will see what will happen. These people are just talking about the end of Nigeria. And that end of Nigeria, they will suffer for it. They will suffer. God will punish them. I'm telling you the truth. I don't know them. But I'm telling you, as soon as it gets to the Supreme Court, all these things you are seeing, they'll be looking at so quiet and calm.
Yeah, because I know too well that the end of this whole thing is going to end in Supreme Court. The Court of Appeal is not going to give a verdict that we're going to appreciate. That I know. The Court of Tribunal and all of that. The end of this whole thing is going to get to the Supreme Court. That I know from the beginning. So what we are saying is this: we should keep calm. I'm using this opportunity to want to reach out to. Thank you so much, Reverend, for being part of this program. And please, if you will make yourself available, I want us to also want to bring in Mr. Ademola into this program. I want us to educate him, because there are thousands of him out there that need to be educated. This is for real. Yeah, Nigeria is going to take a new shape, whether we like it or not. We are advocates for a new Nigeria. Let's practice what we preach. Democracy, we must emerge. We must ensure that democracy, the system of democracy, we cultivate it to the grassroots. And how we're going to start up our democracy, we're going to start it from the top. We're going to start it from the president down to below, so that the president will be able to infect laws and implement things, infrastructure that will affect the life of the citizens, for them to move away from their evil way to some ways that will benefit them and the society. So we're using this opportunity. I'm using this opportunity to speak to, thank you, Reverend Okechukwu. I will be discussing with Nigeria now, and because time has really gone far beyond what we expected. I'll be telling you thank you, and I look forward to have you next week on this program, as I will be able to speak with Mr. Ademola and see if we can get more people to call in the program and more guests to be on the program, so we can be able to educate Nigeria, because this time we will not let justice be taken away from us. This is the time for us to come together, all the people from the southwest and the southeast, and even from the north. We should be able to stand, and make things happen between the citizens and the government of Nigeria. Thank you so much, Mr. Reverend.
God bless you.
Have a nice day, sir. Thank you so much, my viewers, and thank you so much, my guest, for coming into the studio today. And I have my own opinion. You understand? At the beginning of this whole situation, if you've been following my page, you could still recall that I said election is not going to help Nigeria. But we're still in that process. If the Supreme Court did not give a true verdict, believe me, Nigeria will head on to a transitional government, and thereafter it will go from there. We don't know what is going to happen, but my fear is let Nigeria not snap before anything happens. But I want to guarantee the citizens of Lagos State that we should not forget, we should not ignore the shooting at the time at Lekki Toll Gate. They were perpetrators. They were people that masterminded that incident. I'll be playing you guys a clip to end today's program, and I want you all to sit back. Don't forget, next week Wednesday we'll be here to hear from the citizens. This program is meant for the citizens. This was what happened in Lekki Toll Gate, whereby the governor of Lagos State denies that there was no casualty. And please, I'm not campaigning for anybody, but it is our time. We call a spade a spade. We are still waiting for the investigation, like was said by the governor of Lagos State. The governor of Lagos State, where he said that, like, oh, the investigation is still going on. Lagosian needs the report from that investigation now of NSAS. Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, it is time now for you to provide evidence to Lagosians, because the carpet has turned around. Now the candidate for the Labour Party, is willing and ready to transform Lagos State, like he said. And trust me, the obedient movement are solidly behind him, and we don't know what that will lead. And please, viewers, take a look at this video as I draw today's episode to an end. The Labour Party governor candidate. And please, viewers, stay tuned on Wednesday as we bring this same program to you. And please don't forget to call in the program. Here's the WhatsApp number, +1 289 231 2437. And please listen to this video and do have yourself a great evening. Bye for now.
Brother who died from this protest, Ayodunbe Gabriel Ayola, he was shot in the head.
Fellow Lagosians, we have not recorded any fatality as against the widespread circulation on social media.
Let them shoot, let them shoot. No problem. Let them shoot, let them shoot. Come on, sit down, sit down, sit down.
He was shot in the head. He was shot in the head. He was shot in the head.
The lights went off. We were like, what's wrong? Next now, there was just shooting everywhere. The guy that was actually leading me to the charging point was shot. So when I saw I was shot, I tried to turn back to check if he's.
I'm speaking on behalf of my brother who died from this protest. Ayodunbe Gabriel Ayola. He was shot in the head.